Welcome to the Warfare Parenting Podcast. I'm Laine Lawson Craft, here to walk with you through the ups and downs of parenting prodigals. In every episode, we're going to get real about the struggles, sharing stories of hope, and learning how faith can turn things around. So let's dive in and discover the path to healing and hope together. Welcome back to Warfare Parenting Podcast. We are in the episode 2 with Amanda with Able Moms and Unraveled author. And we are so excited you're here. Now, listen, if you did not catch episode 1, you've got to go listen to it. It's all about when her child was almost abducted in the grocery store. Hey, Amanda, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you
Hi.
for joining us again.
Yes, so glad to be here. Thank you.
So I just want you to briefly talk about, because if you missed episode 1, go back, but briefly tell us what happened to make all of this your mission.
Yeah, so I am a mom of 5. At the time, I was a mom of 4, and my daughter was taken from my arms in a thwarted child trafficking abduction in our local grocery store in 2016. And when our family's life collided with the trafficking epidemic here in the United States, we made a choice to say yes to God and accept the beautiful story that he's writing for our family and the ability to help other people not only become aware of it, but know how to react to this epidemic.
And I just love that. And, Amanda, I kind of touched on the end of episode 1, just how we can take a painful experience that God
Yes.
redeems or brings glory to and help others. And I just love that about your heart, that you didn't just say, oh, thank you, Lord, for rescuing us and move on about your life. You said, oh my goodness, how many other people are going through this and how can I help it so it doesn't happen? So I just
Yeah.
love that about you. I want to go to Able Moms. I'm so excited God connected us and I love what you do. I would love to know, what is
Thank you.
your core mission of Able Moms?
Yeah, we exist so that moms can become capable in their everyday practical parenting, unshakable in their faith, and memorable in their mentorship. And we do that with online and local communities that are hosted anywhere really, and then our annual MomCom conference,
Right.
plus the resources and things that we provide for people to be able to host those local communities.
Okay, so how does that actually happen in the natural? Like, can you walk us through, like,
Yes,
if there's someone
sure.
listening today and goes, man, I need to be in an organization called Able Moms today. Can you tell
Yes.
us what they might experience?
Yes, absolutely. So I was a career woman working in the workforce, and I had 2 babies. And when I became pregnant with my second, I just looked at my husband. I was literally on my way to receive awards for my company, and I had my 6-month-old baby. And I just thought, man, this is all great. But coming home from that award, it's like I worked so very hard for this little plaque that hangs on my wall. But this child in my arms, this is eternal. And not to diminish the hard work that I put in or that any mom puts in, or to diminish or to discredit when God calls us to the workforce, because we're in ministry, we're working right now. But it just felt like a trade that I wasn't willing to hand off. And
Right.
so I got this personal conviction that my focus had to shift to being able to rear this child. And I knew in my capacity that I couldn't do that as well as maybe some other moms could. And so I needed to give this my full attention. And so
Okay.
I decided to join a mom's group because I was this career woman who's now home with 2 little boys. And I like packed on the pounds, eating all the Chick-fil-A nuggets in the world, and didn't. It was like, I can't keep living like this. Like I need to put my hand to the plow somehow. And so started a mom's ministry and really cut my teeth on mom leadership there. And this is really important to answer your question. So, because this is really what birth able moms and what they can expect. So I came to those gatherings, and there was an opportunity for me to not only put my hand to the plow in leadership and to grow in leadership, but to also fulfill, like, scratch this itch of wanting to feel useful and valuable, and wanting to pour into other women. And so our communities come together and they sit at the very same table with the same women, and they develop, even though they're in a room maybe of 100, and they develop very deep relationships with these women at their table that I actually still have from years and years ago, but now we're raising teenagers. And these mentor moms that also sit at the tables can guide us in those questions that we can't fully answer. I had no idea. You want to talk about capable parenting? I had no idea that my child's eyes were going to cross. I thought, oh my gosh, we've got neurological issues, get the doctor on the phone, somebody called the president, like what's going on? And so just the capable, everyday, practical parenting tips that we need. And then the unshakable faith that you have to parent well. And then
Amen.
every mom wants to look over their shoulder and say, wow, thank you, Jesus. We've done this well together. And for their mentorship to be memorable in their children's lives, their kids to hold memories of them as a mother. So they can expect coming. It's up to every community, whether they have childcare or not, but to come, to sit down, to relax, to have heavy focus on discussion, but centered around Jesus.
Wow, that sounds so powerful. I wish I would have had something like that when I had 3 children under 3. I really needed,
Yes,
just some practical, I mean, just the
yes,
practical part of being a mom. And then adding the spiritual side is so important
yeah,
that, we've got to leave our children at the feet of the cross. We've just got to, because
yeah,
that's what he asked us to do. He asked us to steward these children. And the way that we can do that is just actually surrendering them every day to his
yeah.
providential plan. Um, I have here, is there a success story that just kind of stands out? Maybe somebody that has walked through Able Moms. And if you don't, that's fine. But I just thought, you might have a success story that a mom wrote you and just said, maybe she was lonely or maybe she didn't know her next step. Do you want to share a success story?
Yeah, absolutely. We are seeing in all the research that is coming out that moms were one of the most impacted demographics post-COVID. They're really, really struggling. And for a myriad of reasons that we don't need to get into. We're also seeing from Barna's research that moms, and this is fairly unfortunate because we know that dads, their responsibility in the home, but dads are feeling the pressure and the weight too. And so moms have become, based on Barna's research, the spiritual drivers in the home. Now we're also most often, more than daddies, home more often. And so that maybe can sway the the statistics. But based on these two things, we recognize that moms are so crucial and so vital. And so we had a situation where we had a mom who was really, really struggling. She had a military her husband was in the military, and so she had a history of a lot of different moves, constantly making new friends, not having the community that Able Moms offers. And so someone had shared with her this Able Moms community. And so she attended, continued to faithfully go, develop some friendships. And at the end of that season, the woman who was leading it said, I too am a military mom. I'm devastated because the Lord is calling me on to a different location, and it's going to leave a vacancy. And she was just sharing her testimony. We have, at the end of every season, we have open mic where we share our testimony, what the Lord has done through the year. And she was just, sharing how vital Able Moms had been and how she was sad that she wouldn't be leading anymore because she was moving. And so this other mom, whose story was the same just 12 months before, walked up to her and she said, after I heard your testimony, the Lord just spoke to me, and I think I'm the woman who's supposed to take your place.
Wow.
Oh man. And so that group is thriving today because that one woman took a step of faith into leadership, and she was very vulnerable. And she said, I've never done anything like this, and I don't even know if I can lead other moms. And she's knocking it out of the park this year.
That's
But to
wonderful.
see moms not only come together in community, but to even with little kids under tow, to see them lead and to lead with them under their wings, it's just a beautiful thing to me.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, that kind of brings me to my next point. Do
Yes.
you have any future goals for Able Moms? Is there anything in the future you'd like to see that may not be here now, but is a goal?
Yeah, that's a great question. We would love to see Enable Moms in all 50 states. We would love to see more moms being able to attend more communities. So we need more leaders for that to happen. We need more moms to step up and say, I'll go to your website. I'll download your curriculum and I'll get these mamas together. I'll lead them around conversation about Jesus for sure.
Well,
That's what we.
yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned curriculum because y'all have an amazing curriculum. Could you just touch on that a minute?
Sure. We have so many writers and authors who come to us and say, we want to be a part of what you're doing. We love it. And so we meet together every spring at MomCom. We have a videographer beautifully record this fantastic, rich, biblically sound content. We take those videos, we pair them with a very short, simple, but robust and clear curriculum. And then we package those in 16 different gatherings, and then we upload them so these coordinators or mom leaders can take them to their coffee shops, around their dining room tables, or their churches, and host this mom community.
That is so powerful.
Use the video and then use the curriculum.
Amanda, this is just incredible. Listen, I want to make sure before we end this segment, what's the best way that some of these moms that are listening today can get connected and if they look, do you train if someone says, hey, I'm interested in starting one? How does that happen real quickly? And where can they find out more?
Sure. ablemoms.org, it's plural, ablemoms.org is where anyone would start. It just says, I'm a mom, start here. You click it and you can get anything that you need. You can contact us there as well. We have someone on our staff Felicia Civils, who's amazing. She coaches someone along, even if they have questions during the process. And then the rest of our team is always available to help as well. But that's where they would go, is ablemoms.org. It's very simple. We know that we're busy moms, right? So we need to make things very simple.
Yes. Well, this is so powerful. And again, Amanda, it all started with your story and then your heart to give to others and serve others. So I just can't thank you enough again for your time. And I can't wait for our next episode where we're going to talk about our next event, and it's in Jacksonville, Florida. We will talk about that in our next episode. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me on the Warfare Parenting Podcast. I hope you're leaving with the heart full of hope and some spiritual strategies to help your wayward child and bring your prodigal home. Remember, you're not alone in this journey, and with God, everything can change. I invite you to the many free resources at LaineLawsonCraft.com. Don't forget to read the free chapter, the first chapter of my newest book, The Parent's Battle Plan, and sign up for weekly encouraging emails too. Stay in touch on social media and don't forget to subscribe. I'm Laine Lawson Craft, reminding you with love and faith, no thing is too hard or big for our God. See you next time.